Moad Mohammed, English Language Arts, A30, Billy Bishop Project, Audio. I open the throttle all the way, and you're off. Pull back on the stick, easy, easy. Once I was in the air, I felt a lot better. In fact, I felt like a king. Mind you, I wasn't fooling around. I'm flying straight as I can, climbing steadily. All alone! What a feeling! I've got to turn. I execute a gentle turn, skidding this time. I bank it a little more. Too much! Too much! All in all, I'm having a hell of a time up there until I remember I have to land. What do I do now? Keep your head. That's what you do. Pull back on the throttle. Too much. I put the nose down into a steep dive. Too steep. Bring it up again, down again, up, down. And in a series of steps, kind of descend to the earth. Then I execute everything I remember I have to do to make a perfect landing. 40 feet off the ground. I put the nose down again and do another perfect landing. This time, I'm only 8 feet off the ground. But now, I don't have room left to do another nose down maneuver. The Rumty takes things into her own hands and just pancakes the rest of the way to the ground. First solo flight, greatest day in a man's life. In the early part of 1916, I was posted back to France as a fighter pilot, 60th Squadron, 3rd British Brigade. I worked like a Trojan for these wings, and I just about lost them before I really began. I was returning from my first OP, operational patrol, and I crashed my Newport on landing. I wasn't hurt, but the aircraft was pretty well pranked, and that was bad because General John Higgins, the brigade commander, saw me do it. Well, he couldn't help but see me do it. I just about crashed at his feet. I watched you yesterday, Bishop. You destroyed a machine, a very expensive, a very nice machine. Doing a simple landing on a clear day. That machine was more valuable than you'll ever be, bucko. Sir, there was a gust of wind from the hangar. I mean, ask Major Scott, our patrol leader. It could have happened to anyone. I was on the field, Bishop. Yes, sir. There was no wind? No wind? Yes, sir. I have your record here on my desk, Bishop, and it isn't a very impressive document. On the positive side, you were wounded, and you score well in target practice, although you have never actually fired upon the enemy. The list of your negative accomplishments is longer, isn't it? Much longer. Conduct unbecoming an officer, breaches of discipline, a lot of silly accidents, suspicious accidents if I might say so, a trail of wrecked machinery in your wake. You are a terrible pilot, Bishop. In short, you are a liability to the RFC, and I wish to God you were back in Canada where you belong. Or failing that, digging a trench in some unstrategic valley. In short, you are finished, Bishop. Finished. When your replacement arrives, he will replace you. That is all. That was the lowest point of my career. Then came March 25th, 1917. March 25th, 1917. 4 Newport scouts in diamond formation climbed to 9,000 feet, crossing the line somewhere between Arras and Saint-Léger. Our patrols to crisscross the lines, noting Haney's positions and troop movements. I'm the last man in that patrol. Tough place to be because if you fall too far behind, the headhunters are waiting for you. It starts out cloudy, then suddenly clears up. We fly for half an hour and don't see anything, just miles and miles of nothing. Suddenly, I see 4 specks above and behind us. A perfect place for an enemy attack. I watch as the specks get larger. I can make out the black crosses on them. Huns! It's hard to believe that they are real, alive, and hostile. I want to circle around and have a better look at them. Albatross V, strutters, beautiful with their swept back planes, powerful and quick. We kept on flying straight. Jack Scott, our leader, either hasn't seen them or he wants them to think that he hasn't seen them. They are getting closer and closer. We keep on flying straight. They are 200 yards behind us, getting closer and closer. Suddenly, Jack Scott opens out into a sharp climbing turn to get above and behind them. The rest of us follow. I'm slower than the rest and come out about 40 yards behind. In front of me a dogfight is happening, right in front of my very eyes. Real pandemonium. Planes turning every which way. Machine gun fire. Suddenly, Jack Scott sweeps below me with an albatross on his tail, raking his fuselage and wingtips with gunfire. For a moment, I'm just frozen there, not knowing what to do. My whole body just shaking. Then I throw the stick forward and dive on the Hun. I keep him in my eldest sight till he completely fills the lens. What a feeling as he flips over on his back and falls out of control. But wait. Grid Caldwell warned me about this. He's not out of control. He's faking it. He's going to level out at 2,000 feet and escape. Bastard! I dive after him with my engine full on. Sure enough, when he comes out of it, I'm right there. Again, my tracers smash into his machine. God, I've got to be hitting him. He flips over on his back and is gone again. This time I stay right with him. The wires on my machine howl in protest. Nearports have had their wings come off at 150 miles per hour. I must be doing 180. I just don't give a shit. I keep firing into the tumbling Hun. He just crashes into the earth and explodes in flames. I pull back on the stick, level out, screaming at the top of my lungs. I win! I win! I win! Jesus, my engine stopped. It must have filled with oil on the dive. I try every trick in the book to get it going again. Nothing. Oh God, I'm going to go in. Down. Down. Gunfire! I must still be over Hunland. Just my luck to do something right and end up being taken a prisoner. Lower and lower, I pick out what seems to be a level patch in the rough terrain, and I put her down.
I got out of the plane into what must have been a shell hole. I took my very light pistol with me. I wasn't exactly sure what I was going to do with it. End of recording.